My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of All Quiet on the Western Front, the 2022 movie, the second remake, because there was one that came out in the 30s, one that came out in the 80s, I believe, and now there's this remake. And this movie was not on my radar at all. I heard amazing things though coming out of festivals, and I'm just like, I'll give this movie a try. And I did not like this movie at all. Now, I should be as transparent as possible and say that war movies are my least favorite genre. Don't get me wrong, there's some that I love, but there's a lot of classic movies that are war movies that I absolutely hate. Apocalypse Now, I think, is one of the most overlong, boring movies to ever exist. The Deer Hunter has a great hour and 20-minute long movie in it, but at 3 hours it is just way too long. And there's lots of other war movies that I'm not really big on. Some that I do love, but it's just not my favorite genre because I feel like so many of them explore the same ideas, they all look the same, they all feel the same, and they can be as technically impressive as they may be, but at the end of the day, I typically just forget a lot of them. Like, every now and again, we get something like 1917, which is an incredible work of art, or you get a Hacksaw Ridge, which I find to be a very great character study. But for the most part, it's not my kind of genre, it's not my kind of movie, and this movie does nothing to change that. There's nothing about this one that really stands out to me that elevates it above all the others. Is it a well made movie? Sure, it's got some good sound design in it. It's got some good sound mixing. I like the music, even though it kind of sounds like something that belongs in an Alex Garland movie. I think it's very well shot. None of the performances are bad, but I just watched it and I was relentlessly bored, and it's a movie I'm never going to think about again as soon as I press off on this recording. It explores the same ideas that you've seen explored in so many other movies about the horrors of war and how it truly affects people. And I get that it's important, but I've seen it so many times. And you're even getting those ideas in movies and TV shows that aren't even war movies. Like Last of Us Part 2. Surprise, of course I'm going to bring it up. It's what I do. But there's a big segment of this game, that focuses on this war between the wolves and the scars, and the movie explores a certain type of tribalization that goes on during that, and how just something so small can set off these huge events. And I think that game explores it incredibly well. Or you've also got the show Arcane, which shows you how things like this can begin and how it affects people and breaks people, that no matter how much you may want something, that war isn't ever worth it. You've got something like Game of Thrones that goes into it every now and again. And and then you've also got all the war movies that it's explored in. And once again, all good points, all good themes, but here, you've got them in the same kind of location that you're used to seeing them in. You've got the same kind of characters that you're used to seeing in a movie like this. And it just kind of all merges with every other movie like this. I'm just kind of done with this genre. Unless you have a really great idea or something about it that allows this genre to stand out, then I just don't think I'll even watch it anymore. In 1917, it was the one shot. Well, it looked like one shot, and I actually think it's not just brilliantly technically, but also adds to the emotion and power of that movie. You've got Jojo Rabbit, which goes into full comedic territory, but also still very emotionally powerful when needed. You've also got something like Overlord, which is complete fiction, but they combine the war genre with the horror genre, and it allows it to stand out. You've got Inglourious Basterds, which focuses more on just the characters, but it doesn't feel like every other war movie, and it stands out. And those are the kind of war movies that I'll be more interested in from this point forward. Like, even a few years ago, there was one movie called with Ty Sheridan, The Yellow Boards, and I heard amazing things about it. I watched it, and I forget everything about it. It's a very forgettable war movie that feels like every other. Same with oh, what was like the the guy from Florida Project and Get Out? Caleb Landry Jones, I think is his name. It was The Outpost. Yes, that was the name of it. I watched that one a few years ago. I heard great things and I watched it, and well made, but just feels like every other war movie. And that's typically my thoughts on the majority of these kind of movies. Like, unless there's something really outstanding or unique about it, it's just going to feel like every other one. This movie is well made. I also think it's way too long and it drags in so many moments, but if you like war movies, go out and watch this, you'll probably like it. If you're like me and you're just tired of this genre, this one won't change your mind. If this is the first war movie you've ever seen, then give it a try because it would all feel new to you. But this movie just did nothing for me. I was bored. I'll never watch or think about it again. I get that people love it, but I just don't fall into that group. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 out of 10. Did you watch All Quiet on the Western Front? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin